Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and welcome to the series Before and After Shahada, where we'll be looking at, and we have been looking at, the reasons why some people embrace Islam, the challenges they face in that process, but also for people on that journey, how do we meet the needs or tend to the concerns of new Muslims, their emotional, psychological, social, emotional, educational needs. I am your host, Muhammad Nuruddin Lemo, and with me to discuss this topic have been two distinguished guests from Malaysia. On my right, Brother Lim Juisun, who is president of the IDT, the Interactive Da'wah and Tarbiyah Association of Malaysia. And with us also, we've been honored with Brother Muhammad Fitri, who is the Vice President of PERKIM, the Muslim Welfare Organization of Malaysia. You are both most welcome. Jazakumullah khairan for joining us. I'll start with you, Brother Lim. Over the last episodes in this Before and After Shahada, we've been looking at trying to understand the reason why not just people embrace Islam, but the reason why some who have embraced Islam leave. And we've shared some of your, or you've shared some of your experiences of handling these apostates or people who have left Islam. And one thing you kept mentioning, both of you have mentioned, is the need to diagnose before prescribing, the need to understand and not get emotional about this subject area. I'd like us to come to a slightly similar thing, since we're on the topic of people who leave Islam after joining, to look at people who leave Islam even though they born and grew up as Muslims. This is something that is very traumatic for many families. It could be a wake-up call, but what's your advice for people, friends, family members who notice that somebody is about to leave Islam or has actually left Islam for another religion? Some get very emotional about it. Some of you said when you embraced Islam, it took months and years, in some cases, before you even let your family know about it because of your fear of their reaction. But what that did was it made you go and spend more time studying Islam, so that when it did come out, you already had a solid foundation. The tendency is, if we are emotional about it, when people leave Islam, the tendency is the fear of our reaction will make them not let us know what's going on until they have completely lost faith and become atheists or become something else. And then by the time you know, it's cancer stage 4, as you would sometimes put it. What's your advice to Muslim parents who sense that one of their children, or to Muslims who a friend has left Islam? In your experience, what would you advise them?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh, go straight to the questions. I think the first thing that I want to let the parents, the Muslim parents, know is that don't wait until people want to leave the religion, the children. The parents have to start from the beginning. Okay, build I would say that Islamic family. Sorry, they use the word Islamic family, and always have discussion, classes, and so on. Always monitor the movement of children. Who do they mix? Do they come home on time? You look at the way their behavior, what kind of tape or what kind of YouTube or what kind of activity that he joined, what kind of song he listened, what kind of friend that he mixed with. Do you take opportunity to get to know the friend and so on? Because many a time when a person who want to leave the religion, it's not just overnight. It was suddenly I had a dream, I want to leave the religion. It doesn't work like that. But it is a process. That the thing is, we do not know about the process. We only know they want to leave Islam. So first thing I want the parent is to make sure that you guide the children at home, so when you have good relationship with your children and you know what they are doing. Number 2.
Sorry, just before you go to number 2, I think this is such an important point, this prevention better than cure.
Right.
And that if you really care about, and you are the kind of person who would be concerned about your children leaving the religion, then you should be concerned about vaccination. You should be concerned about intellectually vaccinating them, let them understand Islam, have an open relationship that allows you to know what's going on in their lives, what's going on in their heads. Sorry to interrupt there.
Just to add on to that is, the thing is, you can see a lot of symptoms. If the children are no longer praying, symptom. You can see also they're no longer fasting. They're no longer reading Quran. They no longer discuss and ask questions about Islam. They know all these are. If the moment you observe something like this, you're supposed to find ways to overcome all this problem. Otherwise, he will be just a Muslim by chance, not Muslim by choice anymore.
And just before you carry on, because there's an important footnote I found, that when young people, and usually it starts even before the age of 10, but around the age of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, sometimes not up to 15 even, they are asking questions that you find you can't answer, or you just tell them to shut up. But then after a while, they stop asking questions. Then you should be worried. Which answers did they get? Because I know in many studies they would say, whatever religion people have by the age of 14, 15 is most likely the religion they will die following. That
critical
period when they're being very open, very curious, they're asking about everything, but then you find they've stopped asking about religion. You have to ask yourself, when they were asking, which answers did they get? Did they get an answer meaning our religion is closed, we do not ask questions, we're just blindly following? So being very concerned about even the silence or the absence of questions. Sorry to interrupt.
Just to continue, the next advice I will advise the parents to do is, if something were to happen to your children, the first thing is, do not be too emotional.
Very difficult.
Yeah. The moment you are emotional, very difficult to solve the problem. Number one. Number two, don't scold them. Don't, some parents even beaten the children. I don't advise that. What I want to do, I want to maintain a relationship, and I want to find out what is actually convince my children to join another faith.
Interesting.
So parents, usually what they did is that, this is number one. Number two, the next thing the parent need to do is bring to the right people. Bring to the right people, get the right answer. Bring to the wrong people, you jeopardize the...
Make it worse.
So many a time people parents thought that I bring the sick ustad. But the moment ustad knows
that is the local malam or just a Islamia teacher who may not be trained or prepared.
I don't blame them, but they never been trained before. So what they do is they will talk about hukum. They will be a judge instead of be a doctor now. This child have illness. How to reduce the illness, how to improve the illness. Instead of that, you give hukum. So you need. Sorry, I'm not saying that the ustad don't have knowledge or even scholar don't have knowledge. No. I'm talking about this is not their field.
The need to look for people who have experience.
And have the wisdom, know how to advise. Okay. So normally I will ask the parents. And also this is something that usually parents won't share publicly. So normally what I will do is when they come to me, I will advise the parents to continue maintain the relationship. Stop talking about religion to him first. Stop talking. The moment you talk about the religion, I can't take it. And he will even make decision to leave the house, not staying with the family anymore. So just at home like normal. Okay? Then the next thing is that find ways to get people to help the child. For example, I always normally say that, why don't you make a house party, like your birthday or your anniversary? You invite me, and with the child is there. So I go there. I can just, I know you already told me the issue, so I know how to deal with him, how to make friends with him, how to talk, how to penetrate, find ways to understand. Let him bring out the issue. So it is the things that we had to do gradually, not, you know. And if you start to talk about hukum, this is a problem. I got one case, you know, when the children, I use the word children, I don't want to talk about male or female.
Yeah.
The children want to already change her belief. She turned to be atheist. So the mother was started to bring the children to see this person, to see that person, to see this person. They are expecting immediate answer or immediate solution. No. It's cancer stage 4. It need slowly. It need chemo first. It's step by step. So, and then up to a level that the parent unwilling to give her wealth to the children. You know, if the children knew about it, you think she will want to come back to Islam?
Exactly.
Even worse.
Exactly.
So I feel that, you know, a lot of things started from prevention. It doesn't work in prevention. When it comes to cure, we leave it to Allah. Our job is to find the wisdom way to deliver the message and continue, make friend, continue guide, you know, do our level best and leave it to Allah. Many a time they hope that I can get solution, immediate solution. Again, Allah say our job is to convey the message. The guidance is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't go into that. Otherwise, you jeopardize, you'll give more problem to that issue.
I know I've come across cases where it was just, okay, we'll just pay some scholars, ustaz, malams, religious leaders, imams, just pray for them. Some will say, no, it's a jinn that has possessed this person. All sorts of things that just make it worse. And sometimes I remember a case that was brought to me where the parents took this daughter to a number of people who were popular when it came to social media and talking about Islam, but who were very ignorant of atheism or how to answer those questions. And so when these parents took this child, or this university graduate, she had studied law, took her to this person, he couldn't answer her questions. And by the time they had gone around, she had reached the conclusion that all your scholars are just dumb. Like it reinforced.
Sometimes give are you sorry to I use the word, sometimes give stupid answer.
Unfortunately.
That make that person
that
even want to
exactly and realized, whoa, thank God you exposed me to this level of ignorance and naivety about philosophy and these questions. And this person was just even more adamant. But what also created a problem was the how, because one of the things the parents did, so they fixed a meeting with to see me, but they told her, we want to meet a friend. When we met, and I was saying, I understand you had some concerns about Islam, etc., she was like, no. And it created an awkward situation.
Yeah.
And so I asked the parents, did you have a discussion with her prior to this meeting? Because I thought that there are some questions that she had. That's when it became clear they had basically set a trap.
Right.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah.
It's very bad.
So they had lost a lot of respect.
Yes.
And so once the person no more respects you, no more trusts you, how do you help a person who doesn't trust you, doesn't respect you? So I had to start apologizing on their behalf for the methodology they used to try and empathize. And, you know, it was a very difficult conversation because this person was still emotionally hurt by a sense of betrayal or the sense that you think I have a problem. You think my problem is I'm being possessed. You think, so it was already one where relationship had been messed up, so even diagnosis was a problem, let alone prescription. Brother Fitri, your advice to parents, friends who, what would you add to this discussion?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, I had a few experiences in these kind of cases in Malaysia and even in overseas. And first and foremost, for the parents, one I would like to say, so Allah says in the Quran, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum naro. It is the duty of the parents to take care of themselves and the children in the hellfire. And when come to children's, I mean, not necessarily children, it could be their siblings, or it could be anybody in the family. When they opt for something like this, meaning that there is a pull factor and there is a push factor, and of course we have to diagnose, before diagnose our own self. Why is this person behaving like this? Why they have made these kind of decisions? And the most importantly is that before we start the whole process, the relationship must be maintained. The bonding must be there. Just because this person made a decision to leave the religion, don't call them by names or something like that. They are still our child. And I just always say, oh my dear, my child, my mom, and this is, the conversation goes on as usual. If it could be better, it's the best. And of course, I agree with Brother Lim. He said that you have to diagnose the issue. For sure. And then, I mean, for many cases that I've seen when people wanted to leave Islam, it's not because of theological reason alone, but because they wanted to end up living with somebody who's from the other religion. I mean,
love conquers a lot of things.
Exactly, love is blind, and we have to accept that.
Yes,
that's the truth, and this is what's happening. But to a certain extent, that we have to explain to our own child. If they wanted to go beyond that, they said, just give some time, don't rush into it. Why? We are actually buying time with our own child who desire to leave Islam, to go for Christianity or any other religion. Give us a chance to meet the other person. Make friend with the other person also. Be caring and also be loving to the person who wanted to take our child away from our religion. This is one way why it's psychologically, it's a reverse psychology. And now this person we have already known our daughter or our son for a very long time. Now we get to know their friends, and then invite them to the house. We want to have a party or to have a gathering or something like that. But you're not going to discuss about religion first. My brother Lim was saying that you put a taboo, say, hey, come on, man, I'm not into all this. And slowly try to show to the other party, the outsider, that the bonding that we have now in our family. Are you prepared to break this bonding? Let them see. We don't have to ask them. Let them see, let them decide. And alhamdulillah, and we have tried this method and it worked. Slowly we try to introduce Islam to our child's friend who intend to marry our child. We're trying to take them out of Islam. We say that Islam doesn't allow us doing that. But Islam always welcomes people to become a Muslim. I mean, I got no problem. You have to marry my daughter. And the only one thing that you have to say that you accept that there is one God and Muhammad is the messenger of God. Simple as that. You are not going to do anything else. And simple as that. I mean, we don't have to ask them, no, you should have the conviction, you should not fake, and you must be truthful, and from beginning it's okay. Make sure that our child is not leaving the religion first. As long as we are clearing the path for them. And later, once he becomes a Muslim and marries our daughter, at least our son, at least we know that our child is not going to leave the religion. That is number one. And they are within the circle. I've seen a few cases like this when the parents say, the moment they try to convince the child, they refuse to listen. Finally, at the last, they will say that you are no more my child. You get lost. You'll go to hell. And you stay there forever. And then God will never forgive you. And they say, thank you very much. Then God doesn't forgive me, then what am I doing here? They will leave the family happily. And they don't even have the sense of regret, saying that for 20 or 30 years, my parents have been taking care of me. For the words they have used, hurt their feelings, insult them. I mean, any human being for the matter.
That's true.
It's not the family members, but any human being don't like to be insulted. I'm not saying that we welcome the idea of living in the religion, but a child is a child. Of course, we have to not answer today, but when the day we see Judgment Day, Allah asks us, what did you do? Oh, I've been insulted enough, Ya Allah. I mean, is that the answer that we are going to give?
Subhanallah.
Of course, this is a religion of rahmah.
Exactly.
Mercy to all mankind. Of course, charity begins at home.
MashaAllah.
And most importantly is that maintain the relationship. At least our child is in the radar. The person that intend to leave Islam from our family is in the radar that we can always follow up. In case if they leave their house and they go somewhere, maintain the relationship. Ask them how are they doing, you need any help, you need any support, And alhamdulillah, one fine day they will, because of the pull factor outside they are living, one fine day they may have some push factor over the other side. Where are they going to go if we are going to be harsh to them? We always teach to them. The most importantly, we maintain the relationship between us and Allah. Make some dua for them without in their absence and something like that. Just maybe doing our tahajjud or something like that. Or after the salah, we recite some dua. Allah, please open the hands, because Allah says in the Quran, "Laisa alayka hudahu, walakinna la yahdi man yasha."
Allah guides whom He wills.
We can never give hidayah to anybody.
Yeah.
Allah is the one who decides who is going to get the hidayah. So we make an effort. What effort? The maximum effort. After making maximum effort, then we go into total submission. It's not that just a total submission and not making any effort. We both have to go to the maximum. Inshallah. Allah Alam.
So I think, what you're both saying is, number one, the first aid when it happens is don't get emotional. Try and diagnose, keep the relationship, because if you use fear and intimidation and insults and disowning, that's not an argument for conviction. If you're not careful, those actions speak louder than all your words, and makes them feel, wow, why would I want to join this person? It backfires, so you have this equal and opposite reaction. And the need to keep the bond, because yes, it may take time for the person to realize they made a mistake. You need time to convince them. But creating any emotional atmosphere makes all of that difficult. So whether the person is a family member, whether the person is a friend, the need to just stay calm, diagnose.
Agree with you, diagnose.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, I think maybe we don't realize a certain issue is about, just now I don't talk about it because now since Fitri brought up the issue, I will expand a little bit. It's about sometimes our daughter, her first love, okay, or she got pregnant.
Out of wedlock.
Yeah. So she don't want to lose that guy because she's given herself to that guy. So the parent need to understand. Okay, but what we can offer to her is that you can be with him, no problem. What we need to do is we get him to join us, invite him to join to learn about Islam. He be a Muslim. You still married him. We can live a beautiful family. So we need to learn to turn the table, not just because when you do not know the issue, usually she won't tell. If she got pregnant, she won't tell. Not until that you have the kind of trust.
Yeah.
She really trusts you, and she will bring out the issue to you. She believes that you will protect her. She believes that you will support her. That is important.
This is very interesting because we've seen actually the relationship between parent and child, that quality of relationship was one of those things that made it difficult for some Boko Haram Muslims whose friends joined. They found it difficult to join because of the relationship they had with the parent. And they were more open. So the parents were able to diagnose earlier and help this person. Of course, sometimes when your child, particularly if they go online or they make it clear they are not Muslims, the parents find it very embarrassing. What am I going to say to my friends? Especially if, my father was an imam or, and it starts becoming an ego issue of what will people say. And that creates the emotion that produces the emotional reaction of anger, embarrassment, which then comes with threats of disownment and ostracizing, which doesn't help. So I think it is important when Muslim parents or any of us hear that any of our friends have a son or daughter or family member who has left Islam, to be able to empathize with the family, to understand where the emotion is coming from. So there's a need for that empathy, but to realize this is displaced emotion. Your energy should actually be better channeled towards better diagnosis and not being too concerned about what will people say, because it happens. Yeah, it happens. It's unfortunate, but the need to manage it better. You wanted to add something?
Yeah, I think when we have cases like this, the first thing we need to do is don't spread that issue to the public. Because our Muslim community, we have one problem. Once they know something, We have one illness, the name called secret.
Can't keep a secret.
It's a secret, because when a lot of people know about it, how they look at the person, they will feel very uncomfortable. They will feel like, that's the reason why I think I should go away. With these people, I don't think I can remain. They are not helping, they are not supporting, but instead of that, they look at me like an alien.
Making things worse.
Yeah, making things worse.
I know, for many cases we have seen, whether the person left Islam, whether the person left another religion to Islam, how the family responds is critical to how the child responds.
Yeah.
If you respond with harshness and threats and hurt, the person gets greater sympathy from others.
Right.
Yeah.
They are ready to sacrifice more if
To support her.
to support the person. And there's more reason why whoever is the supporting or whoever is part of that support system looks at it as their life mission to protect this person.
Right.
Because then it's clear, this is somebody who is joining the other side out of sincerity, not a fake. And I'd like to come to discuss that. It's evidence that we've got a saint joining us. We've got somebody who is ready to go through these sacrifices because he has found the light. He has seen the truth. His eyes are open. And they are ready to give them shelter, sponsor them. There's always somebody on the other side with open arms. Once you have shown that level of hostility, we have people who they put this person behind bars because they can bribe the police. They go through some trauma, and what it does is it just makes the person stronger and breaks away. And so even if you calm down later and you say, let's have a sensible discussion, you can't even get in touch. They don't want to get in touch with you.
Sometimes I will tell the person that who want to leave the religion or really left the religion, I always ask them that about, what is your actual reason? Okay, usually what I got from them is that once you know the issue, then you know how to fit them. You know how to guide them. But most of the time, to make that person ready to talk, it takes time. You need to earn the trust. Quite many cases that handle is earn the trust. At the end of the day, I will continue, even though he left the religion, I will continue call him for a drink, to make friends, to meet up. So why I say like this? Because sometimes they are emotional, they are confused at that particular time.
Yeah.
Right.
If you still maintain a friendship, you still have a chance to get him back into the...
Right.
Yeah.
As I said just now, it's the pull factor now.
Yeah.
Which one, the pull factor is stronger. One fine day, say they have already gone to the other side and they find it a displeasure over the other side. Maybe somebody could have hurt their feelings.
Okay.
And they feel like going away, where are they going to go to? And if you're not going to accept them with an open heart. And Allah is the one who's going to give hidayah, but maintaining the regime is very, very important in this kind of situation. It's no such thing as that. Even if they would have left, they would have been baptized, for example, in some other religion, something like that. Yeah. Our doors are still open.
This is important. This issue of being cognizant and aware of both the pull factors, what's pulling them, and what you are doing to push them, instead of you're also pulling. So if others are pulling, how can you pull better? But what's worse is where they are pulling and you're pushing, just unfortunately facilitating.
Sometimes I will praise the person. When they say that they have left the religion, I will praise the person. I say, you are so different. Why? Because you are not inherit the religion from your parents. You found something better out there, out there. I believe that. That's why you make the decision to join that belief. I'll praise the person. I say, so you are different from others.
So they don't go defensive.
Yeah. So you start, you ask, you reason it out. What are the things that convince you? In fact, my attitude is the same. I have the same attitude. I will always ask, You know, that's why I always tell people, even if you can prove to me the truth is at your side, I will join you.
That's
I will
important.
join you. I won't be so stupid to remain in a religion that's proven wrong.
Excellent.
Because Islam is the religion of knowledge.
Excellent.
So what I normally do is, when you praise the person, he seems like okay with me.
Yeah.
When I choose my path, I okay with you because you think, you use your intellect.
Yeah.
You choose what you want to choose.
Yeah.
Okay.
That takes courage.
Yeah, that's courage. But the only thing may be he or she, her understanding about Islam of Aqidah is not built properly.
So it's going back to this issue of diagnose. Keep a relationship, diagnose, understand better, and look for people who know how to handle it. Because one of, I think, the challenges sometimes is where we do not have enough people who
can support.
And we don't have enough people who know how to answer these questions. Some of these are tough questions, and it requires people who have actually given thought to it. We live in a community where atheism and agnosticism is new. Many Christians don't know how to answer these questions. Many Muslims don't know how to answer these questions because does God exist? Is there a hereafter? Muslims and Christians generally have taken it as a given. So when those kind of questions come in, there are very few people who have actually studied that. And one last point I think worth remembering is, if a person is interested in becoming an atheist, it is good to look for a former atheist who became a Muslim to help this person in those discussions. Yeah, look for somebody who used to have that paradigm, studied it, grew up with it, had all, this person is just love at first sight with that new ideology. Get somebody who, I've lived in it, I've seen the length and breadth and depth, I've studied it, I was one, but this is the problem with it. Because then the person is, talking from a position of knowledge. And I think all of these cases, the moment we hear somebody left here, let it be a wake-up call. If you care about your children and their changing of religion, then you should care about their vaccination. You should care about their education. You should care about what they're going through.
Yes.
Jazakumullahu khairan for your insights. Thank you so much. We'll have to bring this episode to a close here. Until next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم